Hi, I'm Crystal Van Hook, and I am presenting the internet for my fall project for the business class for 2019 with Professor Jay Pickern. The term internet is derived from the term internetworking, which means connecting networks. Simply put, the internet is a network of networks. No one actually owns or runs the internet, and each network is administered and funded locally. The Internet started in 1969 as a U.S. Department of Defense project called the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network that connected 4 nodes: University of California at Los Angeles, University of California at Santa Barbara, Stanford Research Institute at Stanford University in California, and the University of Utah at Salt Lake City. The World Wide Web, WWW, or the web, changed the Internet in 1989 by introducing a graphical interface to the largely text-based internet. The web organizes information by using hypermedia, meaning documents that include embedded references to audio, text images, video, or other documents. Composed of billions of hypermedia documents, the web constitutes a large portion of the internet. In an international survey of people in their 20s conducted by Cisco Systems, a third of the respondents said they consider internet access one of life's necessities. And according to the ManyWatts Marketing Group, which tracked the worldwide growth of the internet from 2000 to 2017, the highest growth has occurred in Africa, the lowest in North America. And as of 2017, there were 3.89 billion internet users. There are many services that are used via the internet. Popular services include email, news groups and discussion groups, instant messaging, and internet telephony. Many other services are reliant on the internet. Email is one of the most widely used services on the internet. In addition to personal use, many companies use email for product announcements, payment confirmations, and newsletters. Recently, businesses have also begun to send receipts for items purchased by customers through email. There are 2 main types of email. Web-based email enables you to access your email account from any computer and in some cases store your emails on a web server. MSN Hotmail and Google Gmail are 2 examples of free web-based email services. The other type of email is client-based email, which consists of the email program you install on a computer. Email is downloaded and stored locally on your computer. Examples of client-based email programs include Microsoft Outlook, Mozilla Thunderbird, and Apple Mail. Most email programs include a folder system for organizing your emails and an address book in which to store email addresses. Many address books include an auto-completion feature so you can use just a recipient's name and the email address is filled in automatically. You can also set up distribution groups for sending an email to several people at the same time. Other commonly available features are spell checkers and delivery notifications. You can also attach documents and multimedia files to email. The internet serves millions of people with diverse backgrounds and interests. Discussion groups and news groups are a great way for people with similar interests to find one another. Although news groups and discussion groups are alike in many ways, discussion groups are usually for exchanging opinions and ideas on a specific topic, usually of a technical or scholarly nature. Group members post messages or articles that others in the group can read. News groups are typically more general in nature and can cover any topic. They allow people to get together for fun or for business purposes. For example, you could join a news group for people interested in ancient civilizations or one that is used to help people write and debug computer programs. News groups can also serve as an effective advertising medium in e-commerce. Instant messaging is a service for communicating with others via a private chat room on the internet. Many instant messaging applications are available such as Windows Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, Google Chat, and the capabilities and features vary depending on the application. For example, some IM applications notify you when someone on your chat list comes online. Others have features for audio or video conversations. A new type of messaging is offered by a mobile app called Snapchat. Here, users combine pictures, videos, text, and drawings into snaps that are sent to other Snapchat users. These snaps self-destruct in a matter of seconds, seeming to not leave a trace. However, while they are on the screen, they can be captured or somebody can take a picture of them. Some people have been using Snapchat for sexting and or sending nude pictures of themselves to others, which may cause them some legal issues. Also, the Snapchat site was hacked in December 2013, after which the hackers posted the phone numbers and other information of more than 4 million users on the web. Facebook Messenger is an additional platform for instant messaging. Facebook Messenger has over 100,000 chatbots. These chatbots offer flexibility in order to automate tasks and assist in retrieving data. They improve user experience and user productivity. For example, chatbots can now send videos, audio clips, GIFs, and other files automatically. Internet telephony. Internet telephony is using the internet rather than the telephone network to exchange spoken conversations. The protocol used for this capability is Voice over Internet Protocol, or VoIP. To use VoIP, you need a high-speed internet connection and usually a microphone or headset. Many businesses use VoIP to offer hotlines, help desk, and other services at far lower cost than with telephone networks. The only drawback is the call quality, which is not as good with regular phone lines. However, the quality has been improving steadily. In addition to cost savings, VoIP offers the following advantages. Users do not experience busy lines. Voicemails can be received on the computer. Users can screen callers even if the caller ID has been blocked. Users can have calls forwarded from anywhere in the world. And users can direct calls to the correct departments and take automated orders. Several service industries use the internet and its supporting technologies to offer services and products to a wide range of customers at more competitive prices and with increased convenience. The internet is playing an important role in helping organizations reduce expenses because web applications can be used with minimum costs. The tourism and travel industry has benefited from e-commerce web applications. Many travel websites allow customers to book tickets for plane trips and cruises as well as make reservations for hotels and rental cars. Many major publishers in the United States and Europe have websites that offer descriptions of forthcoming books, sample chapters, online ordering, and search features for looking up books on certain topics or by specific authors. Some publishers even offer books that can be read online free for 90 days or allow you to buy ebook versions or even selected chapters. Most universities have websites with information about departments, programs, faculty, and academic resources. Some even offer virtual tours of the campus for prospective students, and more universities are creating virtual divisions that offer entire degree programs via the internet. Online degree programs help colleges and universities facing an enrollment decline because they make it possible for students who could not attend school otherwise to enroll in classes. With online classes, universities can also have renowned experts give lectures or seminars, usually at a reduced cost because travel expenses are not a factor. In addition, many professional certification programs are offered through the internet, which is convenient for people who live in remote areas or cannot attend regular classes. Real estate websites provide millions of up-to-date listings of homes for sale. Buyers can review neighborhoods, schools, and local real estate prices, and customers can use these sites to find realtors and brokerage firms and learn home buying tips. Some sites have virtual tours of houses for sale, which is convenient for buyers moving to another state. Employment services are widely available on the internet. These sites offer comprehensive services to job seekers, including the following: expert advice and tools for managing your career, resume assistance, including tools for creating professional-looking resumes, job search tutorials, resume posting and distribution, searches by company, industry, region, or category, and announcements of job fairs. Almost all of U.S. and Canadian banks and credit unions and many others worldwide offer online banking services and use email to communicate with customers and send account statements and financial reports. Email helps banks reduce the time and cost of communicating via phone, particularly long-distance calls, and postal mail. Customers can get more up-to-date account information and check balances at any time of the day or night. With patient records stored on the internet, healthcare workers can order lab tests and prescriptions, admit patients to hospitals, and refer patients to other physicians more easily. Also, test and consultation results can be directed to the right patient records automatically. All patient information can be accessible from one central location. Finding critical health information is faster and more efficient, especially if a patient falls ill while away from home. However, these systems have potential problems involving information privacy, accuracy, and currency. There are other uses for healthcare websites. Telemedicine, for example, enables medical professionals to conduct remote consultation, diagnosis, and conferencing, which can save on office overhead and travel costs. As a part of the telehealth program, a recent Senate bill would pay doctors and other healthcare providers to use video chat, such as FaceTime, for virtual visits for Medicare patients. This should improve access, particularly for those patients who live in hard-to-reach rural areas. In addition, virtual medicine on the internet enables specialists at major hospitals to operate on patients remotely. Telepresence surgery, as it is called, allows surgeons to operate all over the world without physically traveling anywhere. A robot performs the surgery based on the digitized information sent by the surgeon via the internet. These robots have stereoscopic cameras to create three-dimensional images for the surgeon's virtual reality goggles and tactical sensors that provide position information to the surgeon. Most political candidates now make use of websites and campaigns. The sites are a helpful tool for announcing candidates' platforms, publicizing their voting records, posting notices of upcoming appearances and debates, and even raising campaign funds. Some people claim the internet has helped empower voters and revitalize the democratic process. Being well informed about candidates' stances on political issues is much easier with websites. For example, an online voting may make voting easier for people who in the past could not make it to polling sites. Currently, the U.S. House of Representatives is attempting to put all pending legislation online, and presidential documents, executive orders, and other materials are available on the White House's website. You can also find full-text versions of speeches, proclamations, press briefings, daily schedules, the proposed federal budget, healthcare reform documents, and the economic report of the president. There are many uses for the internet, and there are too many to list today, so I'm just going to leave you with some fun facts about the internet that you may or may not have known. There are currently 150 million smart homes worldwide. It won't be long before internet-connected homes are the norm. The average person now spends almost 10 hours a day online. We spend more time on the internet than we do sleeping. 5 billion Google searches are performed on the internet each day. In 2016, there were approximately 7 billion people living on the planet and over 23 billion devices connected to the internet. That's an average of 3 devices per person. By 2020, it is estimated there will be over 50 billion internet-connected devices worldwide being used by 7.8 billion people, over doubling the amount of average devices per person. Some of the strangest devices that connect to the internet now include walking sticks, umbrellas, shirts, water bottles, and cutlery. Right now, 3.6 billion people are using the internet. That's over half the world's population connected to the World Wide Web, just like you are. It's amazing how little we know about something we use for more than 10 hours a day. We're just scraping the surface when it comes to incredible facts about the internet, but now you can go and dazzle your friends with your newfound knowledge. The end.